What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can automate an accounting firm using make.com. Let's get started. On Whimsical, I've outlined all the different processes for an accounting firm that we're going to automate in this video. The first process that we're going to automate is the client acquisition process, where we'll create an automation that captures leads via Typeform and adds the leads to Monday. So I'm using Monday as our project management tool. We'll also create a scheduling call link via Calendly and send it to them for them to book a consultation call via a welcome email. The next process that we're going to automate in this video is the client onboarding process. Here, we'll create an automation that requests financial documents from clients and share a Drive folder for them to upload the documents. We'll create and send them a contract for them to sign and notify the team via Slack when a new client is onboarded. After automating the client onboarding process, the next process that we're going to automate is the invoicing process, where we'll create an automation that auto-generates invoices when a new deal is closed using Stripe and emails the invoices to clients. We'll also send a payment reminder email for outstanding payments and an alert to the financial team via Slack. The next process that we're going to automate in this video is the tax preparation and compliance process. Here, we'll create an automation that gathers tax documents by sharing a Google Drive link with clients. After automating the tax preparation and compliance process, the next process that we're going to automate is an internal audit preparation process. We'll create an automation that sends a pre-audit checklist and notify accountants ensuring compliance before audits. The next process that we're going to automate in this video is the audit and compliance process. Here, we'll create an automation that sends alerts to accountants for transactions that require review. After automating the audit and compliance process, the next process that we'll automate is the expense reimbursement process, where we'll create an automation that sends approval requests to the manager via Slack for them to either approve or deny reimbursements and notify employees once reimbursement is processed. The next process that we'll automate in this video is the subscription management process, where we'll create an automation that auto-notifies clients when their subscription is up for renewal. After automating the subscription management process, the next process that we'll automate is the client retention and upselling process, where we'll create an automation that sends personalized service recommendations based on past activity and notify the sales team about high-value clients for follow-ups. The next process that we'll automate is the referral program and client incentives process. Here, we'll create an automation that tracks referrals and sends reward emails to clients once a referral converts. And the last process that we're going to automate in this video is the client feedback and satisfaction process, where we'll create an automation that sends client feedback survey form after service completion. We'll also create another automation that logs in the client feedback on Monday and send the client a thank you email. These are all the processes that we're going to automate for an accounting firm in this video. We're going to start by automating the first process, which is the client acquisition process. We'll create an automation that captures the leads via Typeform and adds the leads to Monday. We'll also create a scheduling call link via Calendly and send it to them via a welcome email for them to book a consultation call. On Typeform, I've created a form that I've renamed to Lax Ledger Accounting Clients Form. So I'm going to name our form Lax Ledger Accounting. And this is a form that we're going to attach to our website for clients to fill in the information. On this form, we're asking our clients a series of questions so we can understand them and their business. The first question that we're asking them is to fill in the form with their personal information. Here they'll fill in their first name, last name, their email, and their company name. The second question that we're asking them is, what type of business do you run? And here they'll choose either of these options over here. The third question we're asking them is, how long have you been in business? Here they're going to type in the answer in numbers. Fourth question that we're asking them is, what industry are you in? And here they're going to choose either of these options over here. The fifth question that we're asking them is, what is your estimated annual revenue? And here they'll type in the answer over here. The sixth question that we're asking them is, what accounting software do you currently use? And here they'll type in the answer over here. The seventh question that we're asking them is, what accounting challenges are you facing? And here they're going to type in the answer over here. The eighth question that we're asking them, do you currently work with an accountant or bookkeeper? And here they'll either choose the yes or no options over here. The ninth question that we're asking them, do you require assistance with financial reporting and budgeting? Here they'll choose the yes or no options over here. The 10th question that we're asking them is, how often do you need bookkeeping services? Here they'll choose either of these options over here. And the last question that we're asking them is, how did you hear about us? Here they'll choose either of these options over here. After the client fills in this information, we're going to add the information to this board on Monday. On Monday, I've created a board that I've renamed to Lax Ledger Accounting Firm Clients. Here's where we're going to add our clients with their personal information they're filled in on our form. Here we're collecting their full name, their status, their first name, last name, email, the type of business they're running, the industry they're in, the accounting software they're using, the challenges they're facing, if they've worked with an accountant, if they require financial assistance, how often do they do their bookkeeping, and how they discovered our form. We're going to collect all the information on this board right here. We'll capture our client's information and add the information directly to Monday we'll need to create a simple automation on Make. So on Make, I've created a folder that I've renamed to accounting firm. This is the folder that we're going to add all the automating processes for an accounting firm in this video. On this folder, I'll click on create a new scenario. I'll rename our scenario to add client details to Monday via Typeform. And here, since we are capturing our client's information using Typeform, I'm going to search for Typeform. We'll choose a trigger. I'm going to use the watch response trigger. Here we have two watch response triggers, one with acid, the other one with instant and acid. The difference between the two, the one with acid only, you need to choose when you like to trigger the module. With the one with instant, it instantly triggers after the client submits the form. Since I'd like to choose when I would like to trigger our module, I'm going to choose the one with acid only. You'll need to create a connection between your Typeform account and Make.com account by clicking on Add. Here you'll rename your connection and click on Save. Then a new window will be prompted where you'll choose the account that you'd like to connect to Make. After choosing the account and clicking on OK, your connection will be created. Since I had already created my connection, I'm going to choose my connection right here. Then here I'll choose our form. Our form is Tax Ledger Accounting Clients form. And then I'm going to click on Save. You can see it's asking me to choose where I would like to start. You can choose to start from now, since a specific date, or choose manually. I'm going to choose start from now and click on Save. Now, on our form, I'll click on Share. So we can open our form on a new tab and fill in our form as a client. So here, I'll copy the link to our form and open it on a new tab. Here, I'll click on Start to fill in our form. I'll fill in personal information of an example client. The first name is James, last name is Cuban, the email is jamescuban@annex.com, the company name is Annex. I'm going to click on OK. What type of business do you run? You can say non-profit. How long have you been in business? You can say 12 years and click on OK. What industry are you in? Healthcare. What is your estimated annual revenue? You can say 250,000. Click on OK. What accounting software do you use? You can say 0. Then click on OK. What accounting challenges are you facing? You can say bookkeeping and click on OK. Do you currently work with an accountant or a bookkeeper? You can say no. Do you require assistance with financial reporting and budgeting? You can say yes. How often do you need bookkeeping services? You can say monthly. How did you hear about us? You can say advertisement. Then click on submit. Now on Make, I'll run our module and see if we're going to capture our. Now here you can see we captured our client's information right here. Here we got the first and last name, the email and their company name, and the rest of the information that they filled in on our form over here. Now with the information, we can add it to our board on Monday. So here, before we add them on Monday, on tools, I'll click on the sleep module and delay for 3 seconds to give Typeform some time to populate the client's information. Now we can add another module, and then on Monday, I'll search for create an item module. And now we can proceed to add the client information to Monday. So yeah, like we did previously, you'll also need to create a connection between your Monday.com account and Make by clicking on add, and here you'll name your connection. Then from Monday, you'll add your API key over here. To get your API key, click on your profile, then click on administration, then click on connection, then click on API. Here you'll find the API token. All you have to do is just copy it and paste it right here, and then click on save, and your connection will be created. Since I had already created my connection, I'm going to close and choose my connection right here. For the item name, I'm going to add the first and last name of our client first. So James space Cuban. For the board, I'm going to choose our client's board, which is this board right here. For the group ID, I'm going to choose our client's group, accounting firm clients. And then now here, we're going to add values to our columns on our Monday.com board with the data that we captured on Typeform. So here, I'll add a new item, choose a column. I'm going to choose the accounting challenges. And then we can add the value for the accounting challenges that they're facing over here. Then I'll add a new item, choose a new column, and choose the accounting software. You can add the value for the accounting software over here. Then I'll add a new item, choose a new column, and choose the bookkeeping frequency. You can add this value right here. Then I'll add a new item, choose a new column, and choose the email column. Here, I'm going to add the value for the email, which will be our client's email. You can also add the email as a text, and add a new item, choose a new column, and choose the financial assistance column, and add this value right here. Then I'll add a new item and choose a new column, and choose the first name column. Then add the value for the first name, which is James, and I'll add a new item, choose a new column. I'm going to choose how you found our column and add this value right here. Then I'll add a new item, choose a new column, and choose the industry column. Here I'm going to add the value for the industry therein. Then I'll add a new item, choose a new column, and choose the last name column. Add the value for the last name, choose Cuban. Then I'll add a new item, choose a new column, and then choose the type of business. Now I'll add the value for the type of business, and then I'll add a new item, choose a new column. I'm going to choose the work with accountant column and add the value over here. And then lastly, I'll add a new item, choose a new column, and choose the status column. Here I'm going to choose to label it. I'm going to label it as intake. And then now here, I'll click on save. Now, after we've added our clients to Monday, we'd like to send them a welcome email. On the email, we'll also send them a link for them to book for a consultation call. So here, I'll add another module and search for Calendly. On Calendly, I'm going to create a scheduling link. I'm going to create my connection between my Calendly account and Make. To do that, we'll just click on add, then rename your connection right here and click on save. Window will be prompted where you choose the account that you'd like to connect to Make. Now, the maximum event count, I'm going to choose 1, then choose our event type over here. You can choose a strategy session as our event type. Click on save. Yeah, I rename this to consultation call. Then click on OK. Now we can send them the consultation call link via the welcome email. I'll rename our module to welcome email. Here, we're going to add the client's email address as the email as a recipient. Subject line of this email could be the lines of welcome to Lax Ledger Accounting. Let's schedule your consultation. For the content type, I'm going to choose plain text, and the content of this email could be the lines of hi first name. Here we're going to add the first name right here. Thank you for reaching out to Lax Ledger Accounting. We're excited to learn more about your business and explore how we can support your financial goals. To get started, let's schedule a quick consultation call at your convenience. Click the link below to choose the time that works best for you. This is the link that they're going to choose to schedule for a consultation call. During our call, we'll discuss specific needs, answer any questions, and outline the best accounting solutions for you. If you need any assistance before then, feel free to reply to this email. Looking forward to speaking with you soon. Best regards, Emily. And then here I'll click on save. To test if automation works, I'm not going to fill in our form again. Instead, I'm going to choose our previous submission. So here I'm going to choose where to start and choose manually. Let's choose our previous submission, then click on save. Then I'll run our automation. You can see that automation ran successfully. Here we captured our client's information. Over here that they filled in on our form. Then we delay for 3 seconds and added them on Monday. We also created a consultation call link and sent the call link to our client via the welcome email. This is the subject line of the email, and this is the content of the email with a link for them to schedule for a consultation call. On Monday, on our Lax Ledger Accounting Firm clients board, you will see we added a new client. The name is James Cuban, status is intake, here's the first name, the last name, the email, type of business they run, industry they're in, accounting software, the challenges they're facing in their business, if they've worked with an accountant, if they require financial assistance, bookkeeping frequency, and how they discovered our firm. By creating this simple automation on Make, we've automated the first process for an accounting firm, which was a client acquisition process. The next process that we're going to automate in this video is a client onboarding process. Here, we'll create an automation that requires financial documents from clients and share a Drive folder for them to upload the documents. We'll also create and send them a contract for them to sign and notify our team via Slack when a new client is onboarded. So on our accounting firm folder, I'll click on create a new scenario. I will name our scenario to client onboarding. And here, we'll create a webhook that will be triggered after the status of one of our clients changes to onboard. So here, I'll click on webhooks, then click on custom webhook. Here, I'll click on add, then I'll rename our webhook to client onboarding, and then click on save. Here, I'll copy the link to our webhook, then click on save and run our webhook. And on Monday, on our client's board, I'll click on integrate. Here, I'll click on webhooks. Then I like to send a webhook when the status of one of our clients changes to something, so I'll use this as our template. Here I'll use another account and paste our webhook URL right here, then click on connect. It says fail to communicate to the URL provided. Here we'll return this string using a webhook response. So here I'll add another module, and then on webhooks I'll click on webhook response. here I'm going to add two curly braces, and then write challenge right here. Then here we're going to add our string, then click on save, and then run our webhook. Then on Monday, I'll click on connect. Our webhook response ran successfully, so I'll delete it and run our webhook to test it. We'll need to set it up first. So I like to send a webhook in the status of one of our clients changes to onboard, and I'll click on create automation. To test it, I'll change the status of one of our clients to onboard, and you can see our webhook is running successfully. And we're getting the client whose status we just changed. To get the rest of their data, I'll copy this pulse ID, then I'll add another module. Then on Monday, I'm going to search for get an item module and click on get an item. For the ID, I'm going to add our pulse ID, and here I'm going to choose our client's board. This is board right here. Then I'll click on save. Now here I'll run this module by placing the pulse ID that we copied from our webhook and click on OK. And here you can see we're getting our clients information right here, like their first name, last name, their email, and the rest of the information that they fill in over here. With the information here, we can create a scheduling link for our clients to schedule for an onboarding call. So here I'll search for Calendly, then click on create a scheduling link. I'll choose my connection. For the event count, I'm going to say 1. Choose the event type. I'm going to choose the onboarding call and click on save. Then I'm going to rename our module to onboarding call. Now, besides the onboarding call, we can also create a folder that our client is going to upload all the documents that we request them. So here, I'll search for Google Drive. Then on Google Drive, I'm going to click on create a folder module. We'll choose the folder location, the files. You can give our folder a name. You can say it's our client's folder. We'll click on save. Then here, I'll rename this to client folder. Then click on OK. Then now here, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a contract using Pandadoc. So I'm going to choose Pandadoc. Then I'm going to click on create a document. Like we did previously with other modules, you also need to create a connection between your Pandadoc account and make.com account. To do that, just click on add, then rename your connection and click on save. A new window will be prompted where you'll choose the account that you like to connect to make. Then after choosing on the account, your connection will be created. Since I had already created my connection, I'm going to choose my connection right here. We're going to give our document a name. This is a contract that we're creating. I'm going to say it's our client's contract. Now, we're going to create our contract using a template that we'll have created on Pandadoc. On Pandadoc, click on templates. Click on the template right here. And here, we're going to search document that we'd like to create a template. We'd like to create a template of a contract. So here, you'll see the different templates that you can use to create our contract template. For example, you can use the service contract template to create our accounting firm contract template. So here I'll click on add one item. I'll rename our contract to Lax Ledger contract template. And here, you'll customize your contract to ensure that it's aligned with the services that you offer in your firm. You can also add logos and images of your firm. And then after customizing your contract template, click on create a document to create the template. You'll give your document a name and click on continue. Here you can see that our template was created right here. Now, on Make, we're going to find our template that we just created right here, which is this template. Here, you'll add the details of your company and your clients. For example, here you'll add your company email, your customers or your client's email, your company website, first and last name, city, your client's first and last name, postal code, state, and address. Then after filling in all this information, click on save. Yeah, I'll rename this module to create contract. And click on OK. Now, to test if our module will create our contract, I'm going to choose to run this module only. And here we can add an example, first name of a client. I'm going to choose Liam, then click on OK. Here you can see that our module created our contract, and this is the ID of our document. Now, here, I'll download this contract and send it to our client via email. as a PDF document. So to do that, here on PandaDoc, I'm going to click on download the document. Here we're going to add our document ID, which is this ID right here, then click on save. Then I'll rename this module to download contract. Then click on OK. And now we can send our onboarding call link, client folder link, and contract to our client via an onboarding email. I've renamed our email module to onboarding email. And here we're going to add our client's email address as the recipient from Monday right here. The subject line of this email could be in the lines of next steps, schedule your onboarding and submit documents. Content type, we're going to choose plain text. And the content of this email could be in the lines of hi, first name. We're excited to get started and make your finances stress-free. To ensure a smooth onboarding process, here are the next steps. So the first thing that we are telling them is to schedule your onboarding call. Where we're telling them, let's go over your financial needs and ensure we have everything set up correctly. Please book a time that works best for you. Here we're adding the scheduling link from Calendly over here. The second thing we're telling them is to submit the financial documents. To begin working on your account, we need a few key documents. And here we're listing the documents that we need for them to upload. We're also including the link of the client folder that they're going to upload all the documents that we requested them over here, which is this link over here. The third thing that we're telling them is to review and sign your service agreement. Where we're telling them, please take a moment to review and sign our service agreement to finalize our engagement. And here we're linking the PDF document from PandaDoc after we've downloaded it. Then we are concluding the email by saying, if you have any questions, feel free to reply to this email. We're here to help every step of the way. Forward to working together. Best regards, Emily. And here I'm going to click on OK. And the last thing we can do to our automation, we can notify our team via Slack that we onboarded a new client. So here I'm going to add another module and search for Slack. On Slack, I'm going to click on create a message module. I'll rename our module to team notification. And the notification that we're going to send to our team could be on the lines of, we just onboarded. And then here we're going to add the first name of our client from Monday from the healthcare space. So here we're going to include their industry they've signed up for. We're going to add the services that they signed up for. The onboarding call is scheduled and the contract has been sent for them to sign. Next step, Sarah, review the financial documents and ensure everything is in place. If anything is missing, follow up with them. Let's make this a smooth process. I'm going to click on save. To test if automation works, I'll run it. And then on Monday, I'll change the status of one of our clients to onboard. You can see that automation ran successfully. We triggered our webhook after we changed the status of one of our clients to onboard, and we got the data on Monday. We also created an onboarding call link, a client folder on Google Drive, and a contract on PandaDoc, and downloaded it and sent the call link, the client folder, and the contract to our client via the onboarding email. This is the subject line of the email, and this is the content of the email, with the link for them to schedule for an onboarding call, to upload all the necessary documents to the client folder, and to sign our contract right here. We're also notifying our team that we onboarded a new client by sending them this message notification over here of the client. So by creating this simple automation, we've automated the client onboarding process for an accounting firm. The next process that we're going to automate in this video is the invoicing management process, where we'll create an automation that auto-generates invoices when a new deal is closed using Stripe and emails the client the invoices. We'll also send a payment reminder email for outstanding payments and an alert to the finance team via Slack. To automate the invoicing management process, on our accounting firm folder, I'll click on create a new scenario. Name a scenario to invoice management. And here, we'll create a webhook that will be triggered after the status of one of our clients changes to send invoice. So here I'll click on webhooks, then click on custom webhook. I'm going to click on add, then I'll rename our webhook to invoice management, and then click on save. I'll copy the link to our webhook, then click on save and run our webhook. Then on Monday, I'll click on integrate. Yeah, I'll click on webhooks. And I'd like to send a webhook when the status of one of our clients changes to something. So I'll use this template and use another account and paste the webhook URL over here and click on connect. Says fail to communicate with the URL provided. We'll return this string using a webhook response. So I'll add another module. Then on webhooks, I'll click on webhook response. And here, I'll add to call braces and write challenge right here. And add our string, then click on save and run our webhook again. Then on Monday, I'll click on connect. Here our webhook response ran successfully, so I'll delete it and run our webhook. And here, I'll set up our webhook. I'd like to send our webhook when the status of one of our clients changes to send invoice. And then I'll click on create automation. Now to test if our webhook works, I'll change the status of one of our clients to send invoice. You can see that our webhook is working properly. So, and we're getting the specific client whose status we just changed. To get the rest of their data, I'll copy this pulse ID. Then I'll add another module. And then on Monday, I'm going to search for get an item module. And click on get an item. I'll choose my connection. For the ID, I'm going to choose our pulse ID. Then for the board ID, I'm going to choose our client's board. Choose this board right here and click on save. Now to get the rest of their data around this module by pasting our pulse ID right here and clicking on OK. And here you can see we're getting the rest of their data, like their first name, last name, the email, and the rest of the information right here. Now with the data, we can begin the process of automating the invoicing process for an accounting firm. So we're going to use Stripe as our payment provider. So I'll search for Stripe and click on Stripe. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to create these clans on Stripe since these are new clans. So I'll click on create a customer. Here we're going to add the description of our services. You can say accounting services. The email, we're going to add our client's email address right here. You can also add their name, the phone number if you have the information, and their address. But I'm going to click on save. After creating them on Stripe, I'm going to search to create an invoice. I'm going to start by creating an invoice item first. We're going to add the custom ID of our client after we created them on Stripe. For the input amount, we're going to choose by total amount and add the amount that we're charging them over here. For example, you can say that we're charging them $2,000. And remember, the amount you add over here will be in cents. So we'll need to add 2 extra zeros right here to convert the amount into dollars. The currency, we're using USD as the currency. We can also add the description of our services, which is accounting services. You can add the start and end period, but I'm going to click on save and proceed to now create an invoice for this class. So on Stripe, I'm going to search for invoice. Then I'll click on create an invoice. Now, on our create an invoice module, we'll add the customer ID after we created them on Stripe. For the collection method, we can choose to charge them automatically or send them an invoice. If you choose to send them an invoice, you'll need to add days until due. Here we can add 3 days. We'll also add the description of our services, which is accounting services, and click on save. And now here, we can finalize the creation of this invoice. So I'll click on finalize the draft invoice. And here we're going to add the invoice ID of the invoice, then click on save. And now we can send the invoice to our client via email. Rename our module to invoice email. And then here we're going to add our client's email address from Monday. This is the recipient. Subject line of this email could be on the lines of your invoice for lax ledger accounting. Action required. Content type, we're going to choose plain text. And the content of this email could be on the lines of hi, first name. I hope you're doing well. Attached is your invoice for our services. To keep everything running smoothly, please take a moment to complete your payment using the secure link below. Here we are adding the link to our invoice. Right here, also including the invoice details like the invoice number, due date, and the total amount over here from these modules. If you have any questions or need assistance, feel free to reply to this email. We appreciate your prompt payment and look forward to working with you. Best regards, Emily. And here I'm going to click on save. Now we can also send them a payment reminder email 1 day after the due date. So to do that, we're going to start by creating a date variable. So on tools, I'm going to set a date variable. I'll name the variable the date. And here we're going to add a variable value. So on date and time, we're going to add now as a variable value, then click on OK. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to search for the invoice if it has already been paid on the due date. So here on Stripe, I'll click on search invoices module. We're going to add our customer ID from our create a customer module. For the status, you can say open. So we would like to send a payment reminder email if our invoice is still open after the due date has passed. Collection method, I'm going to choose to charge automatically and limit it to 1, then click on save. So here I would like to perform a search if it's the due date. I'll set up a filter and label it to due date and set up a condition. I'll say that the date should equal to, and then I'm going to choose datetime operators, and here the date should equal to the due date. So if it's the due date, we'll search if our invoice has been paid, and if our invoice will end up being paid, we're going to send them a payment reminder. I'm going to rename our module to payment reminder email, and here we'll add our client's email address as a recipient. The subject line of this email could be in the lines of friendly reminder, invoice due. Content type, I'm going to choose plain text, and the content of this email could be in the lines of hi, first name. I hope you're doing well. This is a friendly reminder that your invoice was due yesterday. If you already made the payment, thank you. If not, please complete it at your earliest convenience using the secure link below. And we are adding our invoice URL over here, including some invoice details like the invoice number, due date, and total amount that they're supposed to pay. Then we are concluding the email by saying if you have any questions or need assistance, feel free to reach out. We appreciate your prompt attention and look forward to continuing our work together. Best regards, Emily. And I'm going to click on save. Here, we'll set up a filter to ensure that we're sending the email 1 day after the due date. I'll label our filter to payment reminder. And the first condition that we're going to set up is the amount due has to exist. Then we can set up another filter and say that the date that we're going to send our email should equal to on Monday. I'm going to click on date and time, and here I'm going to click on add days. And here, I like to send this email 1 day after the due date, so I'll add the due date right here and send it 1 day after the due date over here. Now we can also notify the finance team for them to follow up with this. The team notification that we're going to send our team could be on the lines of, hi team, we've already sent a payment reminder to, and then we add in the name of our client, but the invoice is still unpaid. Let's monitor our response and be ready to escalate if needed. We're also including next steps. We're telling them wait for client response, and if no payment is received by, and here we're going to add a specific date. Follow up again or escalate. Let me know if any action is required in the meantime. And here I'm going to click on save. So that will be the team notification that we're going to send our team if the client hasn't yet paid the invoice. Now, to test if automation works, I'll run it. Change the status of one of our clients to send invoice. You can see that automation ran successfully. Here, we triggered our webhook after we changed the status of one of our clients to send invoice. Then we created our client on Stripe. So created an invoice item. We also created an invoice and sent it to our client via the invoice email right here. And then on the due date, we're going to search if our client has paid the invoice. And then if they wouldn't have paid the invoice, we're going to send them the payment reminder email 1 day after the due date and notify our team to follow up with the client. So by creating this simple automation, we've automated the invoicing process for an accounting firm. The next process that we're going to automate in this video is the tax preparation and compliance process. We will create an automation that gathers the tax documents by sharing a Google Drive link with clients. So on our accounting firm folder, I'll click on create a new scenario. I'll rename our scenario to tax preparation and compliance. And here we'll create a webhook that will be triggered after the status of one of our clients changes to tax preparation. So here I'll click on webhooks, then click on custom webhook. Here I'll click on add, then I'll rename our webhook to tax preparation and compliance, and then click on save. Here I'll copy the link to our webhook, then click on save and run our webhook. And then on Monday, I'll click on integrate, then I'll click on webhooks, then I'll use this as our template. Here I'll use another account, and here I'll paste the webhook URL that we just copied and click on connect. It says fail to communicate with the URL provided. Here we're going to return this string using a webhook response. So on webhooks, I'll click on webhook response. Then here I'll write challenge here and add our string and click on save and run our webhook again. And then on Monday, I'll click on connect. You can see our webhook response ran successfully, so I'll delete it and run our webhook to test it. But we'll need to set it up first. So I'd like to send our webhook when the status of one of our clients changes to tax preparation. Then I'll click on create automation. To test if our webhook works, I'll change the status of one of our clients to tax preparation. You can see our webhook is working properly, and we're getting the specific client whose status we just changed. To get the rest of their data, I'll copy this pulse ID, and then I'll search for Monday. On Monday, I'm going to search for get an item module, then click on get an item. Here I'll choose my connection. With the ID, I'll add the pulse ID and choose our board. Our board is a client's board right here. Then I'll click on save. To get the rest of their data, I'll run this module by pasting our pulse ID right here and click on OK. You can see we're getting the client's data right here. Their first name, last name, the email, and the rest of the information over here. So on this automation, we would like to gather tax documents from clients. So we're going to send them the client folder for them to upload the documents that we're going to outline in our email. So here, we're going to search for clients folder on Google Drive. So on Google Drive, I'll click on search for files and folders. Our home folder here, we're going to choose folders. We're going to perform a full text search. I would like to search for our clients folder. So I'll add our clients name right here, folder. And I'll limit it to 1 and click on save. We can run this module by pasting the first name of our client. We're going to retrieve our client folder right here. You can see we're retrieving the folder. So this will be the client folder. So they can upload the tax documents. And we're going to send the client folder to them via email. So I'll rename our module to tax preparation email. For the email address, we're going to add our client's email address from Monday as the recipient. The subject line of this email could be in the lines of securely submit your tax document. Content type, we're going to choose plain text. And the content of this email could be in the lines of hi first name. As you prepare your taxes, we'll need a few key documents from you. To keep things simple, we've set up a secure folder where you can upload everything. And here we're going to add the folder that they're going to upload the documents right here. And then here we're outlining all the documents that we need. Please upload your documents so we can get started. If you have any questions or need help gathering your paperwork, feel free to reach out. Looking forward to making this process as smooth as possible. Best Emily, and I'm going to click on OK. Now to test if our automation works, I'll run it. Then on Monday, I'll change the status of one of our clients to task preparation. You can see that our automation ran successfully. We triggered it after we changed the status of one of our clients to task preparation. Then we got the client's data. We also got our client's folder and send the folder to our client with the task preparation email for them to upload all these documents that we outlined over here. So by creating this simple automation, we'll have automated the tax preparation and compliance process for an accounting firm. The next process that we're going to automate is the internal audit preparation process, where we'll create an automation that sends a pre-audit checklist and notify accountants, ensuring compliance before audits. To automate the internal audit preparation process, on our accounting firm folder, I'll click on create a new scenario. I'll rename our scenario to internal audit preparations. On Monday, I've created another board that I've renamed to Lax Ledger Accounting Firm Employees. Here's where we're going to list all our employees and our accountants in our firm. For the internal audit preparation automation, we're going to create a webhook that will be triggered after the status of one of our employees changes to internal audit. Then I'll click on add and rename our webhook to internal audit preparation. Here I'll click on save and I'll copy the link to our webhook right here and click on save. Then I'll run our webhook. Then on Monday, on our employees board, I'll click on integrate. Then here I'll click on webhooks and I like to send a webhook on the status of one of our clients changes to something. So I'll use these as our template. Here I'll use another account and paste the webhook URL that we just copied right here. Then click on connect. It says fail to communicate with the URL provided. Here we return this string using a webhook response. So on webhooks, I'll click on webhook response. And here I'll add two curly braces and write challenge right here. And then I'll add our string, click on save, then I'll run our webhook again. Then on Monday, I'll click on connect. Our response ran successfully, so I'll delete it. Then I'll run our webhook. Then on Monday, I'll set up our webhook. So I'd like to send a webhook when the status of one of our employees changes to internal audit. Then I'll click create automation. To test our webhook, I'll change the status of one of our employees to internal audit. You can see our webhook was triggered successfully, and we got the specific employee whose status we just changed. To get the rest of their data, I'll copy this pulse ID, and then I'll add another module. Then on Monday, I'm going to search for get an item module, and click on get an item. Here I'm going to choose my connection, the pulse ID right here. I'm going to choose our employees board over here. Choose this board, and click on save. And here, you can run this module and paste our pulse ID right here. Click on OK, and see if we're going to get our employees data. You can see we're getting the information right here, like the first name, last name, the email, the phone number, the company name. Now, here we can grab a pre-audit checklist from our Google Drive and send it to them via email as they prepare for an internal audit. So here I'll add another module, and then I'll search for Google Drive, and click on search for files and folders. Here I'm going to choose our folder I would like to watch, which is files. And then here I'm going to retrieve files, and then I'll perform a full text search. And here I'm going to search for pre-audit checklist and click on save. Here I'll rename this module to pre-audit checklist and click on OK. And here we can run this module and see if we're going to get our pre-audit checklist. You can see we're getting it over here. Now we can send this checklist to our employee via email. I'll rename our email module to pre-audit checklist email. The email address, we're going to add the email address of our employee from Monday right here. Subject line of this email could be in the lines of pre-audit checklist and compliance review. Content type, we're going to choose plain text, and the content of this email could be in the lines of hi first name. We're going to add our employee's first name right here. As we prepare for an upcoming audit, we want to ensure everything is in order for a smooth process. Please review and complete the pre-audit checklist to make sure all necessary documents are ready. Here we're going to add the link to the checklist, adding the key areas for them to review and outlining the key areas on the email. Please complete the checklist and upload any required documents to the client folder. If you have any questions or need assistance, let us know. Looking forward to ensuring a seamless audit process for you. Best regards, Emily. Here I'm going to click on save. Yes, if automation works, I'll run it. And then on Monday, I'll change the status of one of our employees to internal audit. You can see that our automation ran successfully. We triggered our webhook after we changed the status of one of our employees to internal audit, and then we grabbed our employees' information and a checklist from one of our folders on Google Drive, and then we send the checklist to our employee via the pre-audit checklist email with the subject line and this email content right here. So by creating this simple automation, we've automated the internal audit preparation process for an accounting firm. The next process that we're going to automate in this video is the audit and compliance process, where we'll create an automation that sends alerts to accountants for transactions that require review. So on our accounting firm folder, I'll click on create a new scenario. I'll rename this scenario to transaction review. And here, I'll create a webhook that will be triggered after the status of one of our employees changes to transaction review. Here. So here, I'll click on webhooks, then click on custom webhook. Here, I'll click on add. I'll rename our webhook to transaction review and click on save. Then I'll copy the link to our webhook, then click on save and run our webhook. Then on Monday, on our employees board, I'll click on integrate. Then I'll click on webhooks, and I'll use this as our template and use another account. And here I'll paste the webhook URL that we just copied and click on connect. It says fail to communicate to the URL provided. Here, I'll return our string using a webhook response. So on webhooks, I'll click on webhook response. And here, I'll add two curly braces and write challenge over here. And then add the string and click on save. Here, I'll run our webhook again. And on Monday, I'll click on connect. Our response ran successfully, so I'll delete it and run our webhook to test it. But we'll need to set it up first. So I'd like to send a webhook in the status of one of our employees changes to transaction review. And then here, I'll click on create automation. Now to test our webhook, I'll change the status of one of our employees to transaction review. You can see our webhook ran successfully, and we got the specific employee whose status we just changed. To get the rest of their data, I'll copy this pulse ID, and then I'll add another module. Then on Monday, I'm going to search for get an item module and click on get an item with my connection. Then for the ID, I'm going to add the pulse ID. For the board ID, I'm going to choose our employees board, which is this board right here, and click on save. Now, here, we can run this module by pressing our pulse ID that we copied from our webhook right here and click on OK. And now you can see we're getting our employees data right here, like their first name, last name, their email, their phone number, their company name. Now we can send them a transaction review alert via email and add our employees' email address right here from Monday. Subject line of this email could be in the lines of urgent, transactions requiring review. Content type, we're going to choose plain text, and the content of this email could be in the lines of hi, first name. There are transactions that need your immediate attention. Please review them as soon as possible to ensure accuracy and compliance with our financial standards. Keeping our records precise is essential for reporting and audit readiness. We're also outlining the next step right here. Check the flag transactions, verify supporting documents and approvals, identify any discrepancies or missing information, and making any necessary adjustments or escalate if needed. Your prompt attention will help us maintain smooth financial operations and prevent potential issues down the line. If you encounter any challenges or need clarifications, feel free to reach out. Thanks for staying on top of this. Best, Emily. I'm going to click on save. And now to test if automation works, I'll run it. And on Monday, I'll change the status of one of our employees to transaction review. You can see that automation is running successfully to get our webhook after we change the status of one of our employees to transaction review. Then we get in the employees data, which we're using to send them the transaction review email. This is the subject line of the email. This is the email content right here. So by creating this simple automation, we've automated the transaction review process for an accounting firm. The next process that we're going to automate is the expense reimbursement process. We'll create an automation that sends approval requests to the manager via Slack for them to either approve ordinary reimbursement and notify employees once reimbursement is in process. To automate the expense reimbursement process, on our accounting firm folder, I'll click on create a new scenario. I'll rename our scenario to expense reimbursements. And here, I'll create a webhook that will be triggered after the status of one of our employees changes to ask reimbursements. So here I'll click on custom webhook. Then I'll click on add and rename our webhook to expense reimbursements. Then here I'll click on save, and copy the link to our webhook, click on save, and then I'll run our webhook. Then on Monday, on our employees board, I'll click on integrate. I'll click on webhook, then I'll use this as our template. Here I'll use another account and paste our webhook URL right here that we copied. Then click on connect. It says fail to communicate to the URL provided. Here, I'll return this challenge string using a webhook response. So on webhooks, I'll click on webhook response. And here, I'll add two curly braces, write challenge right here. And here, we'll add our string. Click on save, run our webhook again. Then on Monday, click on connect. You can see that it ran successfully. So I'll delete our webhook response and run our webhook. We'll need to set it up first. So I'd like to send our webhook when the status of one of our employees changes to ask reimbursement. And then I'll click on create automation. To test our webhook, I'll change the status of one of our employees to ask reimbursement. You can see our webhook ran successfully, and we're getting the specific employee whose status we just changed. To get the rest of their data, I'll copy this pulse ID, and then I'll add another module. On Monday, I'm going to search for get an item module, then click on get an item. For the ID, I'm going to add our pulse ID right here. For the board ID, I'm going to choose our employees board, and click on save. Here, I'll run this module by pasting our pulse ID that we copied from our webhook, and click on OK. Here, we were getting our employees information like their first name, last name, the email, their phone number, their company name. Now, we can send a manager a notification. Now, I'll rename our module to manager notifications. Then I'll choose the channel that our manager is in. And we can send them this example notification right here. We were telling them, hi, Paul. So I'm assuming our manager's name is Paul. A new reimbursement request has been submitted and requires your approval. Please review the details and take action. This notification, we also outlining the next steps. We are telling them you can access the request and respond directly over here. You can add the link over here. Let me know if you need any additional information. Thanks for your prompt attention. Best, Emily. We can also send an email to an employee notifying them that their reimbursement process has begun. I'm going to rename our module to expense reimbursement email. Here we're going to add the email address of our employee on Monday. Subject line of this email could be in the lines of reimbursement request has been processed. Content type, we're going to choose plain text. The content of this email could be in the lines of hi, first name. Your reimbursement request is currently being processed. You'll receive a notification once the payment has been completed. If you have any questions in the meantime, feel free to reach out. Where's Emily? And here I'm going to click on save. Now to test if automation works, I'll run it. And then on Monday, I'll change the status of one of our employees to ask reimbursement. You can see that automation ran successfully. We triggered our webhook after we changed the status of one of our employees to ask reimbursement. We got our class data. We also notified our manager of the reimbursement via Slack over here. But then we're also notifying our employee that their request is currently being processed via email over here. So by creating this simple automation, we've automated the expense reimbursement process for an accounting firm. Then the next process that we'll automate for an accounting firm is the subscription management process, where we'll create an automation that notifies clients when their subscription is up for renewal. So on our accounting firm folder, I'll click on create a new scenario. I'll rename our scenario to subscription management. And here I'll create a webhook that will be triggered after the status of one of our clients changes to renew subscription. So here I'll click on webhook, then click on custom webhook. Here I'll click on add, then I'll rename our webhook to subscription management. Then I'll click on save. Here I'll copy the link to our webhook, then click on save, and then run our webhook right here. Then on Monday, on our clients board, I'll click on integrate. Then click on templates, then click on webhooks. Here I'll use this as our template, and here I'll use another account, and I'll paste the webhook URL that we just copied, and then click on connect. It says failed to communicate to the URL provided. Here we'll return this challenge string using a webhook response. So on webhooks, I'll click on webhook response, and then here I'll add to call the braces and write challenge right here, and add our string. Click on save, run our webhook again. Then on Monday, I'll click on connect. Our webhook response ran successfully, so I'll delete it and run our webhook to test it. But we'll need to set up our webhook first. So I'd like to send our webhook when the status of one of our clients changes to renew subscription. Then I'll click on create automation. To test our webhook, I'll change the status of one of our clients to renew subscription. You can see our webhook ran successfully. We're getting the specific client whose status we just changed. To get the rest of the data, I'll copy this pulse ID. And then on Monday, I'll search for get an item module. Click on get an item. Here I'll choose my connection. For the ID, I'll add the pulse ID. Board ID, I'm going to choose our board right here. Choose the client's board. Click on save. And here I'll run our module by testing our pulse ID that we copied from our webhook and click on OK. And here you can see we're getting our client's data like the first name, last name, the email, and the rest of the information right here. Now we can send them a subscription renewal notification via email. I'll rename our module subscription renewal email. And here we're going to add the email address of our clients as a recipient. Subject line of this email could be in the lines of subscription renewal reminder. The content type, we're going to choose plain text. And the content of this email could be in the lines of hi, first name. Just a quick reminder that your subscription is up for renewal soon. To ensure uninterrupted service, please review and complete the renewal process at your earliest convenience. If you have any questions or need any changes, feel free to reach out. We appreciate your continued trust in us. Where's Emily? I'm going to click on OK. Now to test if automation works, I'm going to run it. And then on Monday, I'll change the status of one of our clients to renew subscription. You can see that automation ran successfully. Here we triggered our webhook after we changed the status of one of our clients to renew subscription. We got the specific client's data. Then we send them a renewal subscription notification via this email right here with the subject line and this email content over here. So by creating this simple automation, we've automated the subscription management process for an accounting firm. The next process that we're going to automate in this video is the client retention and upselling process, where we'll create an automation that sends personalized service recommendations based on past activity to our client. We'll also notify the sales teams about the high-valued client for follow-ups. To automate the client retention and upselling process, On our accounting firm folder, I'll click on create a new scenario. I'll rename our scenario to client retention and upselling. Here, I'll create a webhook that will be triggered after the status of one of our clients changes to send upsell. Here, I'll click on webhook, then click on custom webhook. Here, I'll click on add. Then I'll rename our webhook to client retention and upselling. Then here I'm going to click on save. And here I'm going to copy the link to our webhook and click on save. Then I'll run our webhook. And then on Monday, on our client's board, I'll click on integrate. Then I'll click on webhooks and I'll use this as our template. And then I'll use another account and paste our webhook URL that we just copied and click on connect. It says failed to communicate with the URL provided. Yeah, we return this string using a webhook response. So yeah, I'll add two curly braces and write challenge right here. And add our string and then click on save. Then I run our webhook and click on connect on Monday. You can see our response ran successfully. Here I'll run our webhook and set up our webhook on Monday. So I'd like to send our webhook on the status of one of our clients and just to send upsell. Then click on create automation. To test it, I'll change the status of one of our clients to send upsell. You can see our webhook ran successfully because the specific client whose status just changed. To get the rest of the edit, I'll copy this pulse ID. Then I'll add another module. Then on Monday, I'll search for get an item module. Click on get an item. I'll choose my connection. For the ID, I'm going to choose the pulse ID. For the board ID, I'm going to choose our board right here, which is the client's board, and click on save. And here, I'll run our module and place our pulse ID right here. Click on OK. Here you can see we're getting our client's information like the first name, last name, the email, and the other information right here. Now, since we're sending our client personalized service recommendations based on past activities, here you can create a scheduling link and send the link to them for them to book a call to talk about the services you're recommending to them. So I'll choose my connection. I'll choose the maximum event count is 1. Choose an event type. You can create an event type on Calendly and can choose it right here. This example, I'm going to choose strategy session and click on. I'll rename this to strategy session. Link. And then we're going to send the strategy session link and the service that we're recommending to our client via that. So I'll rename our email module to client upsell email. The email address, I'm going to add our client's email address right here. Subject line of this email could be in the lines of exclusive service recommendation just for you. For the content type, we're going to choose plain text. The content of this email could be in the lines of hi, first name. We've been reviewing your account and noticed an opportunity to further streamline your financial processes. Based on your past activity, we'd recommend our tax optimization service to help you maximize deductions and reduce your tax liability. Many of our clients in similar situations have found this service incredibly valuable, helping them save thousands annually and safely compliant with tax regulations. Would you be open to a quick chat to discuss this further? Let me know a time that works best for you, or you can schedule a call here. And here we're going to add our booking URL. Looking forward to helping you take your finances to the next level. Where's Emily? And here I'm going to click on save. Now we can also notify our team of the high valued client for them to follow up. We're going to send the notification to our sales team via Slack. So I'll rename this module to sales teams notification. This could be the notification that we're sending to our team, where we're telling them, hi team, we have a high value client who requires follow up to explore additional opportunities and ensure they are fully supported. Please prioritize outreach and check in on their needs. And here we're adding the client details, their client name, company name, and service that we're offering them. Let's make sure they receive the best experience possible. Please follow up and update the team on any developments. Reach out if you need any details. Best regards, Emily. And now to test automation, if it works, I'll run it. On Monday, I'll change the status of one of our clients to send upsell. You can see that automation ran successfully. Triggered our webhook after we changed the status of one of our clients to send upsell. Here, we got the client's data. Then we created a strategy session link on Calendly and sent the link to our client via the client upsell email. The subject line and this email content recommending another service that we offer on the farm to our client. We're also sending a sales team notification for them to follow up with the client. Okay. By creating this simple automation on Make, we've automated the client retention and upselling process for an accounting firm. The next process that we're going to automate in this video is the referral program and client incentives process. We'll create an automation that tracks referrals and sends reward emails to clients once the referral converts. To automate the referral program and client incentive process for an accounting firm, on our accounting firm folder, I'll click on create a new scenario. I'll rename our scenario to referral program. And here, I'll create a webhook that will be triggered after the status of one of our clients changes to ask referral. So here I'll click on webhook, then click on custom webhook. Here I'll click on add, then I'll rename our webhook to referral program, and then click on save. Here I'll copy the link to our webhook, then click on save and run our webhook. Then on Monday, I'll click on integrate. Then I'll click on webhooks. Here I'll use this as our template. Here I'll use another account and paste the webhook URL that we just copied and click on connect. Yeah, it says failed to communicate to the URL provided. We'll return the challenge string using a webhook response. So here, I'll add two curly braces. And here I'll write challenge, and add our string right here, and click on save. And then I'll run our webhook. Then on Monday, I'll click on connect. Our response ran successfully. So here, I'll delete it and run our webhook to test it. But we'll need to create our automation first. So here, I'd like to send a webhook when the status changes to ask referral. Then I'll click on create automation. To test our webhook, I'll change the status of one of our clients to ask referral. You can see that our webhook ran successfully, and we're getting the specific client whose status we just changed. To get the rest of their data, I'll copy this pulse ID. Then on Monday, I'll search for get an item module. I'm going to choose my connection. Then for the ID, I'm going to add the pulse ID. For the board, I'm going to choose our client's board. Choose this board right here, and click on save. Click on OK. Now to test it, I'll run our webhook and pulse ID that we copied from our webhook right here. You can see we're getting our client's information right here, like their first name, last name, the email, and the rest of the information right here. Send them a referral form. On Typeform, I've created a referral survey form that I've renamed to Lex Ledger Accounting Referral Survey Form. This is the form that we're going to attach to our email and send it to them for the client to fill in the information and the referral's information so we can reach out to the referral. So on this form, we're asking our client a series of questions. The first question that we're asking them is for them to fill in their personal details, like their first name, their last name, and the email address. We also tell them to fill in the details of the referral. So here they'll fill in the first name, last name, and the email of the referral. The third question that we're asking them is, what is your relationship with the referral? So here they're going to type in the answer. The last question that we're asking them is, would you like us to notify them that you refer them? And here they'll either choose a yes or no option over here. Now, on the link of this form, I'll copy this unique ID over here. This is the unique ID of our form. And then on automation, I'll add another module and search for Typeform. And then on Typeform, I'm going to click on get a form module, which says ID, copy the unique ID that we just copied, and click on save. And now here, I'll run this module and see we're going to get our form. You can see we're getting our form right here. And this is the link that we're going to attach to our email for them to fill in their information and the referral information. So here, I'll rename this module to referral survey form and click on OK. And now we're going to send our client the referral survey form via email. I'll rename our module to client referral email. And then here, we're going to add our client's email address on Monday. This is the email address right here. Subject line of this email could be in the lines of share Lex Ledger referral form inside. Content type, we're going to choose plain text. The content of this email could be in the lines of hi, first name. We hope you've been enjoying our services. If you know someone who could benefit from expert accounting support, we'd love you to refer them to Lex Ledger Accounting. Simply fill out our quick referral form with your details, and we'll take care of the rest. Here we're going to attach the link to our form. Should be this link over here. As a thank you, you may be eligible for a special reward if your referral becomes a client. We truly appreciate your support. Look forward to helping more businesses thrive. Best, Emily. And I'm going to click on save. Let's see if automation works. I'll run it. And then on Monday, I'll change the status of one of our clients to ask referral. You can see that automation ran successfully. We triggered our webhook after we changed the status of one of our clients to ask referral. Then we got their data. We also got the referral survey form from Typeform, and we sent the referral survey form to our client via the client referral email. The subject line and this email content right here. We can create another automation that watches for our client's response, which in this case will be a referral that our client would like for us to reach out, and then add the referral to a board on Monday. So on Monday, I've created another board that I've renamed to Lex Ledger Accounting Referrals. Here's where we're going to add a list of the referrals that we get from our clients. Where we're collecting the referrals' full name, their first name, the last name, the email. We're also collecting the client's first name, last name, the email. We're also collecting the relationship, and if the client would like for us to notify the referral that they referred them to us. To automate getting our client's referral and adding the referral to Monday, on our accounting firm, create a new scenario. I'll rename our scenario to add referral to Monday via Typeform. Yeah, since we're using Typeform to collect our referral, I'm going to click on type form and click on watch response module action and choose our referral form over here, which is this form. Then click on save, and here we're going to start from now. So click on save. Now on type form, I'll click on share to copy the link of this form and open it on a new tab and fill the form. This time around is a client. Here I'm going to click on start and fill in the personal details of an example client. Here, first name of the client could be Adam, last name could be Green, the email could be adamgreen@anax.com, and then I'll click on OK. Here we'll now fill in the referral details. So the referral details could be Tom, the first name could be Tom, last name could be Sean, the email could be tom@anax.com, and click on OK. What is your relationship? You can say friend. Click on OK. Would you like us to notify them that you refer them? I'm going to say yes and click on submit. Our form, I'll run it and see if we're going to get our client's data over here. You can see we got the data that we just filled in with the client and the referral over here. Now we can proceed and add them to Monday. To add them to our board on Monday, on tools, I'll click on the sleep module first and delay for 3 seconds to give Typeform some time to populate the client's data. And then now here I'll add another module, and then on Monday I'm going to search for create an item module. Here I'm going to choose my connection. For the item name, I'm going to add the first and last name of our referral, be Tom space Sean. I'm going to choose our board, which will be the referrals board right here. Our group will be referrals list. And then now here, we're going to add values to the columns on our board on Monday with the data that we got on Typeform. So here I'll add an item and choose a column. I'm going to choose a client email column. We're going to add the client's email address, which is being Adam. You can also use the email as a text. Then I'll add a new item, choose a new column. I'm going to choose the client first name as a column. I'm going to add the value for the client. We're going to add this value, which will be Adam. Then I'll add a new item, choose a new column. I'm going to choose the client's last name. And add the value for the client's last name, which will be Green. And then I'll add a new item, choose a new column. I'm going to choose whether the client would like us to notify the referral that they refer them to us. Then you can add the value right here, and I'll add a new item, choose a new column. I'm going to choose the referral email column. I'm going to add the referral email right here. So I'll add the email as a text. Then I'll add a new item, choose a new column. I'm going to choose the referral first name. Here we're going to choose the referral first name's value. And then I'll add a new item, choose a new column. I'm going to choose the referral last name. And here we're going to add the value for the referral's last name and click on save. Now, after adding the referral to our board on Monday, we can send a thank you email to the client. We rename our email module to client thank you email. And here we're going to add the client's email address, which will be Adam Green. Subject line of this email could be in the lines of thank you for your referral. Content type we're going to choose plain text, and the content of this email could be in the lines of hi Adam. We truly appreciate you taking the time to refer. And then here we're going to add the first name of our referral. To Lax Ledger Accounting, your trust and support means the world to us. Our team will be reaching out to them soon to see how we can assist their accounting needs. If the referral becomes a client, we'll be in touch with details about your special reward. Thank you again for being a valued part of Lax Ledger Accounting. If there's anything we can do for you, just let us know. Best, Emily. And here I'm going to click on save. We can also send another email reaching out to the referral and asking them for them to schedule for a consultation call. So here, I'll first of all start by creating a scheduling link. So on Calendly, I can create a schedule link. Here I'll choose my connection. For the event type, I'm going to choose one. And then for the event type, I'm going to choose strategy session, then click on OK. And here I'll rename this to consultation call. Click on OK. I'll rename our module to referral email and add the referral's email address right here, which is Tom. Here the subject line could be on the lines of client's first name, referred you, let's connect. Content type, we're going to choose plain text, and the content of this email could be on the lines of hi first name. So hi Tom, I hope you're doing well. Our client's first name, which in this case is Adam, mention that you might be interested in expert accounting support and would love to connect and see how we can help. We offer tax planning, bookkeeping, payroll management, and financial consulting to make managing your finances easier and more efficient. Let's set up a quick consultation to discuss your needs. Here we'll add the scheduling link for them to schedule for a consultation call. Looking forward to speaking with you soon, and let me know if you have any questions in the meantime. Best, Emily. Here I'll click on save. To test if automation works, I'm not going to fill in our form again. So I'm going to choose our previous submission, which is this submission right here, and click on save. And then I'll run automation. You can see that automation ran successfully. We got our client submission right here. Then we added the referral to Monday and sent a thank you email to the client and a referral email to our referral with a consultation call link attached to the email. On our referrals board on Monday, you can see we added a new referral over here. Their full name is Tom Sean. Here's their first name, last name, the email. We also added the client's first name, last name, the email address, relationship, and if the client wanted us to notify them that they referred them to us. By creating these two automations right here, we've automated the referral program and client incentives process for an accounting firm. The last process that we're going to automate in this video is a client feedback and satisfaction process, where we'll create an automation that sends client feedback survey form to our client after service is completed. We'll also create another automation that logs in the client feedback on Monday and sends the client a thank you email. To automate the client feedback and satisfaction process, on our accounting firm folder, I'll click on create a new scenario. I'll rename a scenario to client feedback and satisfaction. And here I'll create a webhook that will be triggered after the status of one of our clients changes to ask feedback. So here I'll click on webhook, then click on custom webhook. Here I'll click on add. Then I'll rename our webhook to client feedback. And then click on save. Here I'll copy the link to our webhook and click on OK and run our webhook. And then on Monday, I'll click on integrate. I'll click on webhooks. And then I'll use this as our template. Here I'll use another account and paste the webhook URL that we copied and click on connect. It says fail to communicate with the URL provided. We're going to return this challenge string using a webhook response. So on webhooks, I'll click on webhook response. Here, we'll call it braces. Write challenge right here. Add our string. Click on save and run our webhook. Then on Monday, I'll click on connect. You can see that our response ran successfully, so I'll delete it and run our webhook to test it. We'll need to set it up first. So I'd like to send a webhook on the status of one of our clients changes to ask feedback. Then I'll click on create automation. To test it, I'll change the status of one of our clients to ask feedback. And you can see that our webhook ran successfully. And we're getting the specific client whose status we just changed. To get the rest of the data, I'll copy this pulse ID. Then I'll add another module. Then on Monday, I'm going to search for get an item module. Click on get an item. I'm going to choose my connection. The ID, we're going to add the pulse ID. And for the board ID, we're going to choose our client's board right here and click on save. Now here, I'll run this module by pasting our pulse ID right here and clicking on OK. And now you can see we're getting our client's data right here, like their first name, last name, the email, and the rest of this information right here. Now we can send our client a client feedback form that I've created on Typeform for them to fill in and give us feedback on our services. On Typeform, I've created this form that I've renamed to Lax Ledger Accounting Feedback Survey Form. This is a form that we're going to send to our client via email that they're going to fill in and give us feedback on our services. On this form, we're asking our clients a series of questions. The first question that we're asking them is for them to fill in the form with their personal information, like their first name, last name, email, and their company name. The second question that we're asking them is, how was your overall experience with the Lax Ledger Accounting Firm? Here they'll choose either of these options over here. The third question that we're asking them is, how satisfied were you with our services? Here they're going to choose either of these options over here. The fourth question that we're asking them is, did the team meet your expectation in terms of professionalism and skill? And here, they're going to choose either of these options over here. The fifth question that we're asking them is, how effective was our communication throughout the process? Here, they're going to choose either of these options over here. The sixth question that we're asking them is, was the timeline and scheduling for your project met? Here, they're going to choose either of these options over here. And the last question that we're asking them is, did you feel supported throughout the process? And here, they're either going to choose the yes or no option over here. We're going to get the unique ID of this form. So on the link of the form, I'm going to copy the last part of this form right here. This is a unique ID to this form. And then on make, I'll add another module and search for Typeform. Then on Typeform, I'm going to click on get a form module. I'm going to choose my connection. And for the ID, we're going to add the ID that we just copied from Typeform and click on OK. And here, I'll run this module. And you can see we're getting our feedback survey form over here. And the link that we're going to send to our client via email is this link over here. So here, I'll rename this module to feedback survey form and click on OK. And now we can send the survey form to our client via email. I'll rename our module to client feedback email. Then we're going to add our client's email address as a recipient right here. The subject line of this email could be in the lines of we value your feedback, share your thoughts. Content type, we're going to choose plain text. And the content of this email, we're going to say hi, first name. At Lax Ledger Accounting, we're always looking for ways to improve and better serve our clients. Your feedback is incredibly valuable to us, and we'd love to hear about your experience. We do take a few minutes to fill out our quick feedback form. It will help us understand what we're doing well and where we can improve. Now, here we're going to add the link to our form, where we're telling them, which is this link right here, where we're telling them to fill out the form using this link. Then we're concluding the email by saying we truly appreciate your time and insights. Thank you for being a valued client. We're grateful for your trust and partnership. Where's Emily? And here I'm going to click on OK. Now to test if automation works, I'm going to run it. And then on Monday, I'll change the status of one of our clients to ask feedback. And here, you can see that automation ran successfully. Here, we triggered our webhook after we changed the status of one of our clients to ask feedback. We got the client's data and the feedback survey form that we created on Typeform. And then we're sending the feedback survey form to our client via the client feedback email, the subject line, and this email content with the feedback form attached to the email. Now, we can also create another automation that watches for the client's responses, which in this case is your feedback, and add the feedback to a board on Monday. On Monday, I've created another board that I've renamed to Lex Ledger Accounting Client Feedback Board. This is a board that we're going to add clients' feedback after they've submitted our form. So to create the automation on our accounting firm folder, I'll click on create a new scenario. I'll rename our scenario to add client feedback to Monday via Typeform. Yeah, I'm going to click on Typeform and click on watch response module. I'm going to choose my connection and choose our feedback form over here. Choose this form and click on save. Yeah, I'm going to choose start from now and click on save. Now, on our form, I'll copy the link to our feedback survey form and open it on a new tab. I'm going to fill in our form as a client. Last name could be Gideon, last name Jackson, the email could be gideon@annex.com, the company name could be Annex. How was your overall experience with Lex Ledger Accounting Firm? You can say excellent. How satisfied were you with our services? Very satisfied. Did the team meet your expectations in terms of professionalism and skill? Yes. How effective was our communication throughout the process? Very effective. Was the timeline and scheduling for your project met? Yes. Did you feel supported throughout the process? Yes. Then I'll click on submit to submit our form. Now here on make, I'll run our module and see if we've captured our client's data. You can see right here that we captured our client's information here. First, we have their first name, last name, the email, the company name, and their feedback over here. And with the feedback, we can proceed and add the feedback to Monday. On tools, I'll click on the sleep module first to delay for a few seconds to give Typeform some time to populate the client's information. Now we can proceed and add their data to Monday. So on Monday, I'll search for create an item module. I'm going to choose my connection. And for the item name, I'm going to add the first and last name of our client right here, which is Gideon with Jackson. And then I'm going to choose our board right here. We'd like to add them on our client feedback board. For the group ID, I'm going to choose the client feedback group. And here, we're going to add values to our column on Monday with the data that we got on Typeform. So here I'll add an item and choose a new column. I'm going to choose the communication column. Now the value for the communication column right here. Then I'll add a new item, choose a new column. I'm going to choose the email column. And add the value for the email, choose this email here. And use the email as a text. Then I'll add a new item, choose a new column. I'm going to choose the expectations column. Now the values for the expectations right here. Then I'll add a new item, choose a new column. I'm going to choose the experience column. Now the value for the experience right here. Then I'll add a new item, choose a new column. I'm going to choose the first name column. Now the value for the first name should be Gideon. Then I'll add a new item, choose a new column. I'm going to choose the last name column. And add the value for the last name should be Jackson. And add a new item, choose a new column. I'm going to choose the satisfied column. And add the value for the column. Then add a new item, choose a new column. I'm going to choose was the timeline met column. And add the value right here. Then I'll add a new item, choose a new column. And I'll choose were you supported column. And add the value for the column right here. And click on save. We've added the client feedback on Monday. We can send the client a thank you email for filling in and submitting the form. I'll name our module to thank you email. And then we're going to add our client's email address right here as the recipient. The subject line of this email could be in the lines of thank you for your feedback. The content type, I'm going to choose plain text. And the content of this email could be in the lines of hi, first name. We truly appreciate you taking the time to share your feedback with us. Your insights help us improve our services and ensure we continue to meet your needs. If there's anything else we can do to enhance your experience with Lex Ledger Accounting, please do not hesitate to reach out. We are always here to support you. Thanks again for your time and trust. We're grateful to have you as a valued client. Best, Emily. Then I'll click on OK and save. To test if automation works, yeah, I'm not going to fill in our form again. Instead, I'm going to choose our previous submission that we submitted a while ago and click on save and then run automation. You can see that automation ran successfully. Here, we captured our client's information using Typeform, and we added the information on Monday, and then we sent them a thank you email with the subject line, this email content right here, and then for giving us feedback on our services. Now, on Monday, on our client feedback board, you can see we added a new feedback over here from this client. Their full name is Gideon Jackson. Their first name, last name, the email, if they were satisfied, if they felt supported, the experience, expectation, communication, and if the timeline was met. By creating these two automations over here, we've automated the client feedback and satisfaction process for an accounting firm. So these were all the processes for an accounting firm that we automated in this video. The first automation that we created was an automation that captures clients' details, adds information to Monday. This automation also creates a scheduling link for a consultation call and sends the link to the client via the welcome email. The second automation that we created in this video was a client onboarding automation. This automation creates a scheduling link, a client folder, and a contract, and send the contract, the link, and the folder to our client via the onboarding email. We're also notifying our team that we've onboarded a new client. This automation creates an invoice and sends the invoice to our client via the invoice email. After the due date has passed and the client hasn't yet paid the invoice, we're going to send them a payment reminder email and send a notification to our team for them to follow up with the client. The fourth automation that we created in this video was a tax preparation and compliance automation. This automation searches for the client's folder for them to upload all the different documents that we've outlined on the tax preparation email. The fifth automation that we created in this video is an internal audit preparation automation. This automation sends our team a pre-audit checklist via the pre-audit checklist email. The sixth automation that we created in this video was a transaction review automation. This automation sends a transaction review to our team members via email. The seventh automation that we created in this video was an expense reimbursement automation. This automation notifies the manager of a reimbursement that need to be processed. We're also notifying the employee their reimbursement is in process. The eighth automation that we created in this video was a subscription management automation. With this automation, we're notifying our client to renew their subscription via email. The ninth automation that we created in this video is a client retention and upselling automation. With this automation, we are creating a strategy session link and sending the strategy session link together with additional services that we offer on the firm via the client upsell email. We're also notifying our team via Slack for them to follow up with these high-valued clients. The 10th automation that we created in this video was the referral program automation. With this automation, we are getting the referral survey form that we created on Typeform and sending it to our client via the client referral email. And the 11th automation that we created in this video was an automation that captures the client's referral and adds the referral to a referral board on Monday. We're also sending the client a thank you email and an initial contact email to the referral with the consultation call link attached to the email. The 12th automation that we created in this video is the client feedback and satisfaction automation. With this automation, we are getting a feedback survey form that we created on Typeform and sending the form to the client via the client feedback email. The 13th automation that we created in this video is an automation that adds the client feedback to Monday, and then we're sending the client a thank you email, thanking them for filling in and submitting the form. These were all the automations that we created in this video, automating processes for an accounting firm. Right here. Thank you for watching. Now, if you have an automation or a system in mind that you'd like for me to create, just comment down below in the comment section. And if I land on your comment and I find it intriguing, I'll come back on a future video showing you how to create the entire system or automation from scratch. But for now, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.